me and TJ from here came and did the Lincoln Commons. He had the white Mustang that was down there
Yeah.
on the bottom. He had a really good time.
Cool.
And I thought it was a blast. And it was a lot of fun. I feel like it seems like it's growing quite a bit and it's changing a little bit from what it was originally, I think. And
Well, that's our revamping in common. We try to put some new things in place to keep a nice atmosphere and a good crowd after we had some dubious fellows come through the year
yeah,
before that were not
yeah,
not regulars, and the locals and the
yeah,
owners did not take too kindly to
sure.
burnouts and revving and nonsense.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how like in car culture, I mean, just like in whether it's like powerlifting or martial arts or you name it, there's always the outliers that like make things not as enjoyable as they should be, and it's kind of funny how that sneaks its way in there from time to time,
Well, these people were intent on being trouble.
Oh,
It
really?
was
So that was like,
very, very evident.
oh wow, okay.
Cameras outside the
Gotcha.
cars and all tinted out, and yeah, I mean, it was.
So what kind of changes did you guys make this year? Like, did you guys have like, more people helping out, keeping an eye on
Yes,
stuff?
and we, one of the things we came up with or was asked to do is to have event shirts for the volunteers. So there's this kind of pseudo authority thing going on or
Oof,
whatever, at least
mm,
knowing that people are watching per se.
I see.
But the other thing too is, and it kind of is almost unfortunate to have to go this route away, but we start charging for
Yeah.
that. But the neat thing is, and I have to give credit where it's due, where I came up with this concept, is we charge $20 to show your car,
Hmm.
but then that's refundable at our store.
Yeah.
So you can go buy $20 worth of stickers
Hmm.
or apply it towards a
Oh, I
T-shirt or
see.
whatever.
That's great.
So it's baked in the price. Now, where I learned that from was when last year we went to Goodwood Festival
Hmm.
Speed,
Yeah.
and on our way there we stopped at Caffeine and Machine.
Okay.
So if you're not familiar, Caffeine and Machine has 3 locations in the UK
Okay.
where it's a destination. Car people meet up there. They have car events every day. They have a full restaurant, and when you buy a ticket to go to one of their
Yeah.
events, your money is redeemable at their
I
cafe or
see.
towards their
That's
merch.
a really great idea, actually.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty slick.
We'll probably have to borrow that for one of our events.
Yeah,
But
just,
and from the person doing it, it didn't really seem like I didn't really notice it that
yeah,
as far as like you have to pay to get in or pay to enter your car
right,
or anything. And
right.
it did seem, for whatever reason, it did seem like it was a little more, put together in a way where like, um, it was just not as inviting for random people to come on do random things, in a
The
good way. So,
weird part too, though, is a lot of folks did not come and redeem their tickets.
yeah, I
So
didn't know. I must have just not been reading. I don't read emails a lot,
yeah,
unfortunately, but I
that's the
probably
thing.
just
Yeah.
wasn't reading. I definitely would do that next year though. But no, I thought it was a smooth event. TJ had a blast. Um, he was really happy to have his car down there in the center, and it
At
made
the
me,
plaza
yeah,
City.
yeah. It made me really just like proud of the guy to see his car there around so many other cool cars, like
Yeah.
because he puts a lot of work into it. And you know how it goes. Sometimes people will put a lot of work into their cars and then they
Yeah,
don't really,
he was probably carrying the flag for the modern Mustangs. I don't recall,
yeah,
he would try to mix it up, obviously,
yeah,
presenting different cars, and
yeah.
so he might have been the representative.
That's kind of what I thought too. I thought it was, and I thought the way that you guys choose, obviously, we've talked about this before. You guys put a lot of effort into where things are at, how they're laid out. It's not just a pull up and we'll just kind of put things where they go.
Especially with down there in that plaza, we're
Yeah,
curating
it's a
that.
unique space, right?
It's 30, 35 cars, and,
Yeah,
you want that variety to be
yeah,
as broad as possible.
yeah.
You
It's also crazy you can fit that many cars in there. I mean, it seems like a decent
Yeah,
space. I didn't realize you were fitting 35 in there. That's pretty wild.
I think Dan's drawing is a little bit less cars, but,
Gotcha.
if you get a real deal Mini Cooper,
Hmm.
it's not taking up so much space, and
Yeah, kind of
you could
helps.
fit more in there than he originally planned.
Yeah, and one of the things that I was kind of explaining to TJ, and I wanted to talk about it, on the podcast because, just like the, redeemable $20 thing, for merch or stickers or whatever, that it might also be the case that especially because there are a lot of amazing cars there. One of the things that I think you mentioned to me in the past was talking about that specific event or like low end as a brand, what it represents as far as like all cars, whether you daily it or not, whether it needs work or not, um, that's always been kind of imprinted in my mind. And I was telling TJ about that. I'm like, yeah, there's going to be some really insanely nice cars there, like high value. There's also going to be other cars there that people just enjoy because they have it. There wasn't anything that was I shouldn't be in a show there, but like I really just appreciate the fact that people can bring what they drive,
Yeah, I
and
mean, we like it if you do,
yeah,
It could be the most mundane thing necessarily. I
yeah,
had a guy once who had he emailed like, "Oh, I have a Honda Odyssey and it was like had rims on it or whatever." And it's like,
hmm,
"Cool, man, enjoy. Come join us. It's not a big deal,
sick,
It's we've
yeah,
got room for you." And not, trying to
yeah,
create some exclusive
totally,
event. I always wanted to be all welcoming, and
yep,
that's why it really saddened me to have to gatekeep after these clowns showed
yeah,
up last year,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, what originally gave you the idea to wanna do that? Like, what was that first that wasn't before Checked It Out, was
To
it?
do what
To
specific?
do, like, low end or do the Lincoln Commons where it's like a
Well,
you bring what you drive
low
kinda
end
thing?
is a whatever, it was just my little thing. It
Mhm.
goes back to 2015.
So that was pre-Checked It Out, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so
a few years before.
now when you first started doing low end or thinking about that, was that sorta like your, I don't know, ethos or outlook on cars to begin with as
It
far as, like,
started
bring
out
what you drive and, like,
no,
like, how did
it
that
just
come
started
about?
out as I wanted to create a social media hub for all events that we were into
Mhm.
in the area,
Yeah.
a lot of autocross stuff,
Yep.
and then it evolved. The first thing we ever really did as a brand or a group was to do an annual karting event. We would do that in like February or March,
Mhm.
and that was lasted a few years,
Yeah.
probably up to COVID,
Yeah.
basically.
Gotcha.
And then it came the annual garage event for low
Yeah.
end, which is just hangouts. And then when that period checked it out happened in 2018,
Mhm.
which I look at we do it low end as basically we're an agency doing content and putting on events,
Mhm.
and of course the biggest thing that we do is checked it out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Of
on this
course.
crazy level, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's super nuts.
but because I take it where you're kind
Sure,
of
yeah,
going
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
because of checked it out,
Yeah.
I got approached to doing common.
Oh, I see.
So people in the property management game,
Mhm.
uh, actually this guy Brian Munin, he's around a lot. He's like a baby blue '65 Mustang, but he works with
I
the
think I've
company that
seen that
owned it.
car,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely, you definitely have.
Yeah, totally.
So he would go, he be a spectator, checked it out, and then
Gotcha.
the Lincoln Common property wanted to do a car event,
Yeah.
and they reached out to me, and
So cool that they wanted to do that. Also so, like, not your typical move, I feel like, from a
well,
property
their
management
initial
company.
motivation was to sell their monthly rentals in the parking garage.
Ah,
And then
interesting.
that kinda got brushed aside for whatever
Sure,
reason,
yeah, yeah.
and we still kept it going,
Yeah.
and, the funny thing is, which I just learned with the last one, so Allie, who's the marketing person there, who
Mhm.
basically hired us for this event,
Yep.
she said their owners are big investors that are in Dubai or whatever.
Mhm.
Our event is their favorite event.
Yeah, I could see that.
They're like, "What's up with the car show?" I remember they
All the way
said.
from Dubai, like,
Yeah, yeah. That's
isn't that
she's
awesome?
like she's like of all the things I do, because they do a lot of activations.
Yeah,
There are a lot of
sure,
fun
yeah.
events, for
Yeah.
families and kids and stuff.
Yep.
But she's like of all the things to do,
Yeah.
your event is what the big money people care about.
Yeah, I think it stands out. It's different, I mean, and, like, I try to be involved with a lot of things, probably more than I should be with my schedule or whatever, but, like, the things that you're doing, whether it's Checked It Out or Lincoln Commons, like, I look forward to them. They're fun. The people that are there are fun. They're cool, even, like, the staff that's there is cool, So I think it's easy for people to grab onto that,
Yeah.
especially even from freaking Dubai. Like, they know what's going on. They can see what you're up to, and
Well, it's a great venue. I mean,
it's a super cool spot. Yeah,
yeah,
I
for
love it.
what we're doing, and it's beautiful. And then,
Mm,
one of the coolest parts is the architecture of the plaza. So,
yep.
the gables, or that's not the proper term for them, but those were designed by a architect slash car guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What a like serendipitous kind
Yeah.
of thing.
And he actually came one time with the model he built,
Oh, that's cool.
to show the concept.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it would have been a ripe opportunity to get some content, but we didn't, or at least the photo of it
Yeah,
that
sure.
just kind of passed us by. And
Yeah. Sometimes that happens, right? When you're doing events, that's happened to me where I'm like, how did I miss that? I couldn't believe that I didn't think of that or,
yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
you live and learn, and down the road you can adjust,
It'll be
but
different now because now Digicult is a regular photographer for us there, and
yeah,
Richard, I would have, asked him to come down here and
sure.
get this,
Of course, yeah. Just
but
that
that
constant evolution, yeah.
but that was before we had budget for that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like people are doing things on a whim, or you're asking people to help out or whatever. And even right now, we're in that like sort of transitional period where it went from random people, friends doing things, and now we're kind of starting to bring some people in that are a little more professional. Well, actually, a lot more professional. Um, and I'm sure you've ran into this too, but as time goes on, we're finding more and more passionate people for
Sure.
video or photo,
Yeah. Yeah.
or even just the staff that helps out the day of. We're getting the older people that have always been around and the newer people to mesh together and really just function as like a unit. And they're not really so much even a hierarchy thing. It's really like everyone cares about this much. We're just trying to keep elevating. And I kind of feel like you guys do that too.
Well, when I first checked it out, me and John Westra, who were acting as partners at the time,
Hmm.
we both lost $300 on the event.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like we were fine. We were happy to do it,
Sure.
but then it was proof of concept was established. The next year, we
Yep.
hooked up with a bunch of sponsors.
Yeah.
That's when Porsche became involved with us, and
Yep.
namely, most importantly, the whole Napleton group.
Yep.
And that's when we got quality art and
Yeah.
everything else, and
Yeah.
had some money to spend. And
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a really cool thing to see evolve, and I wanted to also talk to you about the book Off the Map too, because we talked about that at the other
yeah,
Checked It Out podcast.
speaking of budgets, it's
um,
not cheap to print a book, people.
excuse me, I'll tell you what. When I opened that book up, the first thing that I said to myself is I was like, "This costs a lot of money to make." I could just tell just from like the photos, the artwork, even the quality of the book.
Well, we
I
wanted
mean,
it to be a very high end product with lots. We're all
yeah,
about the details.
yeah,
Uh, Very thoughtful presentation that goes into everything that we do.
yeah.
You
It's an
know,
amazing book. Like I have to
thank you.
congratulate you guys. I mean, it's cool when anyone puts a book out,
Yeah,
but that thing just blew me away, man. I mean, I'm really proud of it from like your friend position, but also like from the outsider being like, hey, this is like Porsche Chicago. These are the
yeah.
car culture guys that I know. They're doing this thing. So I was pretty hyped to see
That's what
that
we
thing turn out
celebrate.
that
We
way.
we celebrate within. We celebrate the folks who are part of our community, the people
Yeah.
who come to the event every year.
Yep.
You know, um, you're not going to catch us trying to chase whatever.
It's
It's
noticeable too. And that's for me, that's what makes a person like myself or like TJ, who's just like this weirdo gym dude, want to go to your events and
yeah,
participate and like
yeah.
keep following along. And,
Well, the whole
it's,
the whole local angle, I think, is paramount.
yeah.
Where which what you do with the show is you're doing the same thing. The podcast,
Yep.
talking to people who are part of the community.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's like a documentation of sorts, all for all the above, right? Like,
And
what,
if there's national people on whatever kind of field you're interested in, you could find that elsewhere.
yeah.
There's a real need
Yeah.
to cover our little small pond here in Chicago,
Yeah.
which isn't very small.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's what we do. It's our
Yep.
place.
Yeah. And you guys have been doing a book release sort of tour, right? A little bit
Yeah,
where
it's
I've
been
seen
fun.
seen you guys go to different locations. Where have you guys went for that? And
Well, it started in January when you picked up your copy with your mom
yep,
at Napleton, which, well, how cold was that day?
it was
Like,
freezing that
there was one of
day.
those days where
Yeah.
your windows on your car just don't want to go down.
Yeah, it
And
was
it
cold.
was we were very appreciative that anyone actually showed up, which
Yep.
they did.
Yeah, there's a good turnout for that,
So
especially on such a crappy day.
yeah, that was January,
Mhm.
and we probably didn't the next one was at Euroquip, which was June. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think I missed anything in between, 'cause,
Yeah, I think I saw you post about
yeah,
that, yeah.
so that was
Where
cool.
was that at?
So Euroquip is in St. Charles. They're a
Okay.
checked it out sponsor.
Okay, cool.
Adam actually has my little Mercedes R129
Okay.
project that I bought last year,
Yeah, I
right-hand
saw that at
drive.
Lincoln Commons, right?
It was there. That was about
Is that the silver one
it's a,
or
uh,
color is that?
blue
Oh, it's
blue
blue, that's
pearl
what it
is it
is.
blue pearl metallic?
It's like a
Yeah.
light it's like a
Yeah.
light blue,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, with the
Okay, yeah. I
navy
think I'm
top.
colorblind, I'm pretty sure, so it makes sense. I'll tell Katie, I'm like, "Oh, it's a really cool gray house." And she's like, "Dude, this thing's blue." I'm just
Yeah,
like,
wow.
"Makes sense." Well, that's cool. Yeah, so you got that as a
So
project then.
Euroquip, and that was crazy because me and Dan had went to Triple Zero's Rare Shades in New York City,
Mhm.
and we just flew in that Saturday night and then had to be at Euroquip the next morning for the little book
It's a
tour.
quick turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little sketchy, but it pulled it off. So
What was you said 000?
yeah, they
What's
invited
that?
so
Is that another show or an
yeah,
event?
so Triple Zero does these very high end exclusive events that match their magazine, and they had this Rare Shades, which I think was their seventh one,
Okay.
and it was at
I
this
vaguely remember this now.
TV recording studio,
Okay.
crazy ass place that
Yeah.
Robert De Niro's a big investor in.
Oh, wow.
Very
That's nuts.
beautiful, amazing place, and it was like 70-ish cars maybe,
Yeah, that's
but
sick.
it was, very curated,
Yeah.
special, the
Were you pretty mind blown by the cars that were
presentation.
there? Or like the
Yeah,
whole
because
thing
it's all
itself?
about celebrating the rare colors of Porsche.
Ah, I see. Ah, okay, I do remember seeing that.
But the cool thing that they did is they had the last 930 ever
Mhm.
there, which so 930s would have ended in 89. This car didn't make it out of the factory till I think 91,
Gotcha.
and it has a crazy spec sheet. All the panels inside are wrapped in leather. The funny thing is they put a sensor in this car that if the sensor picks up moisture
Mhm.
starting to rain, the top will go up.
Dang, and what year is this?
It was finished in 1991.
Damn. I didn't realize that they were doing things like that at that
They
time.
did for this guy.
That's nuts.
The
Very
owner
cool.
like flew to Germany like every whatever few months just
Yeah,
for this crazy spec on this car,
that's nuts.
and it's all black,
Alright.
so it's the only warring color that was there. And
Yeah,
it had its own studio. It had all this lighting set up, and it was just a crazy experience.
that's
I have a
sweet.
pretty decent video of it that
Yeah,
just walking there.
yeah.
So then, we went to Euroquip the next day, and then our tour date after that was at Graham Rahal Performance in Indianapolis.
Okay.
So, we
Yeah,
have
and
a
you
lot of
guys
friends
drove
down
to
in Indy.
that? Did you guys drive
Yeah,
down there as a group?
the crew members had a nice weekend. We had an
That's what I thought.
Airbnb and
Yeah.
just, hung out for the weekend. It was
Yeah.
saw our people down there. And we were set up in Graham Rahal's showroom, which talk about amazing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I didn't get to leave the showroom because I heard the storage area is even more off the charts with what's in there.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I mean,
So did you get to go to the storage area or no? Oh, dang.
no, it wrapped up, and then it was time to go get lunch.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the whole concept is crazy there. I mean, they have a full built out cafe that's huge. The next block over, they have a steakhouse that they own.
Dang.
It's
So they have a
really
good setup there.
it's really amazing.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to check that out because I go through there occasionally. I have a lot of friends who live in
yeah.
Ohio and things like that. Well, even like parts of Indiana too. And
So if you go down there,
yeah,
I'll connect you with Turner. He can show
yeah,
you around.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. So, how did the like events go with the book? Like, did you feel like you were able to kind of like explain it to people because you're there personally, and a lot of times like people might not get that firsthand experience with you and the crew. So like, what was that
Yeah, like
experience
at
like talking to
GRPs,
people?
like not everyone is a Porsche person, so
Hmm.
that was kind of they looked over at us and like, okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I'm just like,
That's
okay,
part of it, right? I
okay,
mean,
this dude has a Corvette shirt on. I don't need to bother talking to him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of part of it. I mean, you gotta, you're also promoting the things that you're into, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be good feedback and whatever
But
feedback
we have
too.
our
So
friends down there,
yeah,
it was good to
yeah, yeah,
see. And
yeah.
then this guy Dan Becker, who is building cars out of Kentucky.
Okay.
He's a retired guy. And he's building these very nice 911s, air
Mm,
cooled. So got to meet him in person. He's a supporter of Checked It Out sponsor this year,
cool.
bringing a few cars up. So
Does he have does he have a brand name or like a company?
Becker built.
Becker Built. Okay,
Yeah, it's
gotcha.
very low key. I mean, he's maybe on 10 cars now or whatever, but
So it's cool.
yeah, it's nice stuff.
What have you seen him do? Anything off the top of your head that you've liked? Any builds that he's done that stood
Well,
out
they're
to you?
all, long hoods
Okay.
or backday long hoods, Targas, some
Yeah.
trick stuff,
I love those long hoods, man. Those
big
things are so
motors.
cool
Yeah,
looking.
I mean, you and everyone else, right?
Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe that satisfies this like thing of being, brought up in the 80s and 90s where everything was like 35 feet long. I don't know, but maybe that's
Yeah,
what it is, but it's still a sports car.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, those things are cool.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome that he's sponsoring that. And um, is this the first year he's sponsoring Checked It Out?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and
I think we've had some of his builds before, though.
like at the shows and
Yeah, because
stuff.
he did this Corey Schaefer's car, I believe. So
Which one was it?
Corey has a very bright blue. I can't think of
Oh,
the
okay.
blue, but it's a SC backdate.
There's like some yellow on it too, like some
He's
kind
got
of
some
accent.
livery stickers.
Okay, yeah. I think I know what car you're talking
Yeah,
about. That's
it's
cool.
gets a lot of eyeballs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, especially to try to meet like local or semi-local builders is so awesome, rather than just
Yeah,
the people that you follow on YouTube that you may meet or may never meet, or they're like elusive or, it's cool to
yeah,
see
we like
someone.
all our
Uh,
folks that come visit us, of course.
and the Checked It Out 26 is August 22nd, which is what,
2 weeks from
2 weeks
today.
away. And I want to talk to you briefly about the location of it this year. So where is it this year for people that haven't been
Fulton
following?
Market, and actually on Fulton Market Street. If you've been with us before, let's say 2021 and
Mhm,
2023,
mhm,
we are going to be using some of the same blocks.
mhm.
There's a little bit overlap, though we are more west. Our west border will be Ada. So we're going to
Oh
use
yeah.
Ada across Fulton Market
Mhm.
to Lake Street. So what's going to be really cool is if you're having a small cheval burger, you will have all the cars there on Ada to look at. And
It's pretty awesome.
their little picnic area, if you're familiar, I'm sure will be packed with people. So
Yeah.
I hope they have enough food that day.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
there's gonna be a lot of people there.
we go down Fulton Market, and our east border is May Street. So
Okay.
and that's really cool because our new friends at Geneva Seal, the watch boutique, which is like
Mhm.
8,000 square feet,
Yeah.
they're right there at let's call it the spectator entrance at May.
Okay.
So where they're going to be, also you're going to have Graham Rahal and Singer with their high end, of course,
Yeah.
crazy cars.
Yeah, of course.
And the cool thing is because Geneva Seal is an official Singer watch retailer.
Gotcha.
So there's a tie in there. So
Yeah.
when you come in, you're going to be greeted by some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Kinda like right away, just you're gonna see
Yeah.
what the like quality level is and and it's really cool to see you guys bring that element into it because I was looking up the Geneva brand a little bit
Yeah.
when you first started posting about it.
Yeah.
That looks like a really cool space on its own.
Yeah. And they have an event space within their property, within their not little build up, but their 8,000 square
Yeah,
foot build
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
And last I heard, Downtown Porsche is going to do a little kind of VIP experience there. So,
Oh, really
if
cool.
it's a hot day, it'd probably be
Yeah,
cool off with a drink there and hanging
yeah.
out. And there should be a very eye catching 912 up on there that's an immaculate restoration.
Very
So you'll
nice.
know that that's his spot.
Yeah. All right, I'll keep that in mind. It's also cool to see the crossover between like, you know, a really high level watch company and then obviously Porsche and your event,
So
and
they're going to
they
have
kind
all
of
their reps.
all
Like
blend together.
Moser is a big brand that
Mhm.
they carry, which is, you know, I'm not. I like watches, but I don't know about them like most of our
Yeah, I'm kind of
Porsche
in the
friends
same
do.
boat. My
Yeah.
neighbor is a huge watch guy. He always talks to me about them, and I'm like, man, one of these days I'm gonna get into that.
So
Right now, I
like
don't have the brain capacity for
Hubolt and
it.
Omega and Moser, that like they're gonna have their reps out for that
Okay,
day. Like,
that's smart. Also, I
yeah.
mean,
No, I went to a grand opening for the Moser boutique and met the actual owner from Switzerland,
oh, okay,
and I told them about what we're doing, and
yeah,
their rep out of New York City is gonna join us, and they were fairly excited about the experience.
yeah, it
So
makes sense. Also, you're gonna have very like cool, but also particular people
mhm,
there. So it makes sense to have that's
yeah,
like your ideal person that you want to look at
yeah,
your watches and talk to people
yeah.
about your watches.
Yeah,
Uh,
then on the other end, on the west end, is the Fulton Bond
mhm.
luxury condo project.
Okay,
So whether you're in the market or not, you're going to be able to walk into their model and take a look at all the crazy,
just by
beautiful,
being there,
beautiful finishes that they have, and these units are square footage is pretty big.
really.
So that's something for folks to do just beyond the
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah, I mean, even if just, like, some people like myself and Katie, like, we just love looking at new, old, in between architecture, just seeing how it's
Yeah,
built, seeing what the ideas were behind the person putting it together, and so that's a really
yeah, I
cool,
recommend that everyone go
like,
in
side
there.
piece to the show,
Yeah,
you
because
know?
the details in the model are so crazy. Because even when you're in one of them, it's supposed to be like on the 13th floor.
Mhm.
So the windows, they got drone footage up there, what the elevation,
Yeah,
and so the windows are like the view you're gonna have if you ended up buying that
I see.
place.
That's kinda
Yeah,
awesome.
I thought that was pretty sick.
Yeah, that's really cool. What was involved with, setting it up this year? Any, new but, similar challenges from before, I just wanted to see because I know that every year you do a different spot.
Yeah.
There's a different layout, it's different traffic, different city things, different businesses. So I just wanted to see,
Yeah,
um,
so the hard
you
hard
know,
part, I shouldn't say hard, it's not that hard, but, you have to think about the locals and think about the traffic, you think about
mhm,
the residential development
mhm,
and the way they're gonna exit their parking, and,
yeah,
you're gonna try to make it flow around what we're doing.
yeah,
So
without major interruption. Like,
right.
it's obviously going to be something, but
Yeah, there's one pay lot that is on our site,
mhm,
and we're gonna have it set up so they have easy egress
yeah,
from that.
that makes sense.
You know, we don't expect too many cars to be coming in and out of there,
Yeah.
but that's definitely stuff we have to take into consideration.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound too terrible. I mean, I guess there's some familiarity with being in the area in previous years too, so I guess you have that on your
Well,
side,
the,
but
the the truth of the matter too is we have a team that can handle it.
that's true.
There's gonna
Yeah,
be we're gonna have crew members there and making sure everything is
yeah,
nice and safe, and
yeah,
people are escorted in the right direction.
yeah. I won't be doing any burnouts. I
No, we don't
checked it
want
out
that
this year.
either. Yeah.
Um, talk to me a little bit about the car auction because um, I recently saw that you guys are gonna have a 911 there in
Well,
Midwest
yeah,
Performance, right?
MPC
Is
is going to, yeah.
they're gonna be auctioning the car off, and I think that's the first time that that's happened. I
Well,
checked it out,
it's
right?
been an
Or
idea that many of our auction partners throughout the years have tried to have, but
mhm,
it's very hard to coordinate and time. So this year, so MPC, does basically consignment auctions with Bring
mhm,
a Trailer,
mhm,
and they have this gold metallic uh, Targa. And I'm not sure what the time the auction ends, but it's going to be during the event.
mhm.
So hopefully, everyone could be on their phones and watching it or
Yeah,
whatever, and maybe they're bidding too. I don't know, but
yeah. So is it live bidding or is that all on the phone, but people can be there to actually be with the car? Like how does
well,
that work? I
it's
was
just going to
curious.
proceed like any other auction,
Okay.
but we like to we all kind of have this addiction of following these auctions,
Yeah,
and
oh,
give
of
and
course.
take, and
Yeah, whether we're actually interested in it or
right,
not.
right, and watching those last 2 minutes and then the clock resetting and all that other shit. So that's gonna happen
It's just
while
so
we're at the
nerve-wracking.
event. Yeah, yeah. It would be cool if the winning bidder was at checked out that day, but
Yeah.
odds of that, probably not so good, but that's
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
That would be really awesome, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a great idea to bring to the event, because it's just like it's another,
Another layer.
type of action,
Yeah.
like, it's just something to pay attention to and kind of like you're there with the car that's
So
being
MPC is gonna
auctioned.
be in this area that Dan is calling 4Cam, like the
Okay.
Furman 4Cam puller.
Okay, got it.
And so what we're gonna have in this area, which is this cool design parking lot that we have used in past checked it out, so
Mhm.
2021.
Yeah,
Sim Drive is gonna be there, so they have a trailer that they bring out with sim racing. So anyone is gonna be able to go sit in the trailer and
cool.
drive some tracks
Yeah,
virtually.
that's awesome.
Joining NPC is One Drivers Club. They are currently storing a 993 that one of NPC's customers has, so they're going to
Wow.
bring that out. And then, in addition to that, North Shore Auto Rebuilders will be with them.
Okay.
Crazy thing that they're doing and going to debut is they had a customer with a brand new RS Spider. I don't know what color this guy bought,
Alright.
but he decided that color is not for him. Have
Okay.
you ever heard of urban bamboo chromaflare?
I mean, no, I have not. I think bamboo maybe,
It's
but
one of
is
those.
anything
It's
like
one of
bamboo?
those colors
Herman
that
bamboo
changes when
camouflage.
you look at it.
Oh, okay,
So back
gotcha.
to the rare shades, they had a GT3 RS or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
there in that color. So I think from the factory, that's like $100,000 option. So this guy
Okay.
decided he wanted this car, and Steve and the crew at North Shore Auto Rebuilders are paying. It's pretty much done from
Yeah,
what I've seen, but
okay.
yeah. So
That's
this guy's gonna
insane.
have that crazy color.
So it changes so what's the, standard color of it, like, if you're not moving, or is it different
It's
color
like
from
I
every
would
angle?
call it like a tan with a
That's what I would
green,
imagine, but
crazy metallic.
alright.
But then if you look in these angles, there's like green will kind of shine or a purple
Yeah,
will come out, in a certain light.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look for that car for sure.
So I would imagine you have to be very, very talented to make that happen.
Yeah, I feel like just the amount of preparation and planning
That's what
on
they
that
say
is
in
just
painting a car. I mean, I tried painting a bumper once and
yeah.
I enjoyed the process, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I could imagine just an immense amount of time and it seems like so tedious to do that kind of work, the
All
amount
that
of
sanding,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know
all
if
that
my brain
cleaning.
is prepared for that.
Yeah.
Um, talk to me a little bit about the evolution of the Checked It Out crew. I just wanted to sort of see from your perspective, like year 1 all the way up to
Yeah.
26, like what are some of the things that you've noticed that has changed with yourself, Dan, Andy, the whole rest of the crew?
Well,
Uh, we're just
those are day one folks.
yeah.
So, and then in year two, Jenny Rhodes joined us, who,
Mhm.
we work on event management and graphic design.
Mhm.
And then, like Michael Benny is another day one guy. And
Mhm.
bringing back to the book,
Yeah.
what's interesting about Mike is he is the only one photographer who has shot the event every year. So I
Wow.
think that's a pretty neat distinction.
Yeah.
But over the last 2 years, Scott Nachman, who wrote one of the forwards in the book,
Mhm.
he's joined the team, and now his big role is managing the staging crew.
Okay.
So
Ah,
he did this whole zone thing last year and gave everyone their roles and knowing what's going on in their areas, which has been
makes
a
sense.
major, major, major bonus to what we do and
Yeah.
helping Dan and just managing all the chaos. Because the first 2 hours of our event when people
Yeah.
start showing up, it's crazy, and if you're not used to it, like last year I rented the parking lot from this guy
Yeah.
and, dude freaked out.
Hmm.
Cars everywhere,
Really?
and I just told him, "Be patient. It'll all be over before you know it,"
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? but he was losing his shit. But that's how it is.
What was
It's
he
rapid
what was he
fire.
upset about? Just the fact that
Oh,
there's so
just the
many people
cars
there?
everywhere, and then he's worried about his customers and all this other fucking bullshit. But you know,
Gotcha.
uh,
Yeah, I mean, it's like, this is what it is, man. I mean, you know.
and it doesn't last long. By the, it's just a quick barrage,
Yeah, yeah,
hour or whatever, and then
yeah,
everything calms down.
yeah,
And and then the exit is a lot easier because people just trickle out. But it's in
yeah.
morning.
Everyone's
They're
arriving at the same
lining up.
time. Yeah,
Car people got to be early
yeah,
everywhere they go.
yep.
Almost to a certain level of annoyance,
Yeah,
but
yeah, of course.
we're ready for them.
Yeah. You always see me at 2 minutes after, so you don't have to,
Yeah.
or maybe 20. Uh, but no, that makes sense. And so, the few things that I kind of made note of from, my limited time at your guys' events is everyone is so, professional, everyone's so passionate, and also just personable, which usually those three things don't always go hand in hand. And so I wanted to see if that's something that you guys is that something that you guys promote amongst the culture of your crew, or is that just something that gets,
I think it's natural.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just by you picking the right people or just paying attention to who's involved, things like that, right? I mean,
Well, in the early days, probably in the first year, there was an older guy,
mhm,
probably a senior,
mhm,
and I forget what car he had, but I remember there was a comment. He's like, I've never had a young person come to engage me about my car and how cool it was. And
yeah,
we were
what is
like
that?
really touched,
Yeah,
and that's what we want.
yeah,
We don't want people posting up being all, walled off and defensive or whatever.
doesn't make anyone wanna come around either, I mean,
No,
and it's
no.
like, just like anything in life, I mean, if there's an older person there, I mean, that should be one of the main people you talk to because you only get so many opportunities to talk to those people, get their stories, see what's going on with their car, I mean, it's like, you know,
Yeah, I think all
it's
you
kind of a
really have to
no-brainer.
do is loosen them up with a hello,
Yeah.
because otherwise they're not really expecting it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then once you do it,
Yeah,
it
that's true.
changes everything.
Yep,
Because let's face it. I mean, we're getting up in age, and we kind of assume
yep.
that every little shit is an asshole, but
Oh,
they're not.
absolutely.
But they're not.
Absolutely.
They will surprise you.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
true. Yeah, I remember even just the few checked it outs that I've been to in the last couple of years, I've opened up a little bit more. I'm a little less, introverted than I was
Yeah.
before at social events,
Yeah.
and so I've gotten a lot more comfortable saying hello to people, "What's up?" Like, "Tell me about your car." Just shoot the shit with
Yeah.
random strangers, and, it is funny seeing some of the older people, like, at first, they're like, "What's going on?" Like, like,
All
"What do you
right.
need?" And I'm like
All right.
but once you get past the first, like, minute, they realize, like, you're just interested in their car, and they love it, and it's so easy to hang out with them
But
for
those people who would join us who are advanced in age they're on a different level. They're cooler.
definitely.
They they're not the guys who are bitching and moaning about the city. So
Yeah, yeah,
that already
yeah,
right there, tells you they're special and
absolutely.
they understand.
Yeah. Well, especially also being up in age like that, and then still being in the city, still having a car
Well,
like
they're
that,
not necessarily in the city, but they will come to it.
Yeah, or even that too, the fact
You
that they're
know.
willing to come down here and they don't think
Yeah,
twice about it.
and I have some folks who've been in this game a long time who are really supportive
Yeah,
and really appreciate what we do,
yeah,
and it's really an honor,
yeah,
basically.
yep,
They made vacation in Florida, and they're telling people down there what a great job we do with our
yeah.
events and everything, and
Doesn't that blow you
it's
away
it,
that people not only are willing to support you, but they'll tell people out of state
they
or out of
evangelize.
country about what you're doing? And like, do you ever sit back and just kind of like, is there any like shock value for you where you're like, man, this thing that I wanted to do just for fun, like people were telling people about it, like everywhere, does it
Yeah,
ever
no,
throw you off a
I
little bit?
appreciate it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and
It's sort of a thing that I always wanted to do but didn't know it.
and what do you mean by that exactly? Like, I think I understand because I feel the same way about this place, but I wanted to get your take
I mean,
on
it's sort of,
what that means. Like,
it happened by a certain level of luck.
hmm
I've always like thrown parties and a little bit of events. And
Yeah.
even when I was 19 years old, I had my friends had a hip hop jazz band, like 7 members. They played in my backyard,
Yeah.
So
Yep.
kind of done stuff like that throughout the years. So
Yeah. So it kind
that's
of goes hand
why
in hand.
this was kind of natural in a
Yeah.
certain sense.
Why do you think that is? Like, did did you always seek out things like that just for like change of pace, or is it because you like just seeing your friends like have a good time, or is it partially a selfish thing where you're doing those things, but you also just like having a good time? Like, what do you think that? Because not everyone. What I'm getting at is that not everyone has the ability to do that,
Or the
or
desire.
the desire,
Yep.
or the patience, or the courage, because uh, you're someone who does events, you do projects, right? You get
Yeah.
people together. Like there are going to be some discouraging moments. There's going to be some
Well, there was
downsides and things like that. So yeah.
in the very beginning, and this is someone who's not outside the car world or whatever, I
Hmm.
kind of know in my professional
Hmm.
life, said to me, "Well, what the hell are you doing that for?"
Yeah.
About checked it out, and I'm just like, why the hell wouldn't I?
Yeah.
You
For
know,
sure.
we want to have fun, we want to be creative, we want to get together with our friends,
Yeah.
and we were, learning the ropes, making mistakes as we go,
Yep.
and that's okay.
Yep.
And it was fairly easy with all the connections and all the,
Yeah.
like I've said before, Porsche people are in this world or in that world, and they're willing to lend a hand.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily that difficult,
Yeah.
and it's rewarding.
Yeah. It makes me laugh. When you were talking about like the jazz hip hop
Yeah,
show that you put through in your backyard, I think I was still in high school. And my sister and I, were going to a lot of punk and hardcore shows at that time. It was like one of our main priorities in life. And my parents randomly went out of town. They didn't really travel a lot when I was younger. They didn't really go anywhere. They were pretty like work oriented people. But there was one weekend where they were out of town and we had a punk show in our living room with an ice cream social.
nice.
And at the time, well, we told my parents about it many years later, but at the time I was like, why are we doing this? This is so strange and silly. And no one I know is having like bands in their living room.
Yeah,
But like looking back on it, I think there's just an element of certain people that just want to do things.
yeah,
That just want to see where things go. You don't really know exactly why you're doing it.
yeah,
You just want to see what it's going to turn into. It's like a certain kind of like subconscious curiosity
sure.
that you have, and I kind of see that in a lot of the like projects and the way that you guys talk about things too. Like you're sort of like, yeah, let's just get together, do things, see where it takes
It's
us.
really just living
Yeah.
and having experiences.
Yep.
And I mean, could you imagine if your life was without that, or if you just left it all to someone else, or if you didn't go
Yeah.
and support these things and go to these parties and events or whatever?
No,
Like the hell would you have?
doesn't seem very awesome or fun or different.
There are a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree, and it seems almost like impossible for me to imagine doing that. I don't even think I could do that. I don't even know if it's in me. I think it's like
Yeah. I
if I'm
mean,
alive, I have to do this shit, or
to
that's
be so lame.
yeah.
There are people out there who don't travel. They have the means to,
Yep.
but they just aren't interested,
That's true.
and there are people who actually don't like music out there.
That's true.
What a bunch of freaks.
I have met a few of those people that I've talked to about and been like, "So what kind of stuff do you listen to?" They're like, "I don't listen to music." I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "I'm just not into it." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Dude, I would," and I don't mean this in a funny way, but I would actually be dead, I think, if it wasn't for without music. I just don't know if I'd want to be alive. Like, I love it that
I
much.
mean, there is what psychologically, what is up with it?
Yeah.
There has
Yeah,
to be some kind of case study about that.
absolutely. Either that or maybe just they didn't listen to music until they didn't hear it until they were I don't know, that's
But as
possible.
you know, music is a big part of all my events and what we do.
Yeah, yeah.
So, checked it out this year. Mario Gage, he's become my mainstay. He's
That
he's
dude's
he's the
awesome.
guy, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and God bless him, man. He's gonna DJ the whole 6 hours again. Maybe he'll get some break or help, and I'm sure he'll be wearing a suit, and it'll be August, and it'll be hot. But that's how he
He don't
rolls.
care.
You don't care. He's, I guess, and so It's funny. Last year, I asked him to start with one particular song, which is a Imagine Al Trio, "I Love Music," which is this whole piano thing.
Mhm.
And I happened to be there and catch it on video, and it was just really amazing. Early morning, and it just had rain, and it was just,
Yep.
the scenario. So we picked out a song, which I won't say for to start this year.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the other thing is, like, I told Mario, I'm like, what do you think about 1 o'clock? Let's kick up the tempo, and not only is he into the R&B and everything, but
Mhm.
he's a house head, as they say.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So we're gonna do a little house party
Cool.
at 1 o'clock, and it's gonna be presented by Autobahn Country Club because they will be adjacent to his location, and
Okay.
they want to engage like that, and
Yeah.
have a fun atmosphere, because probably next year
Mhm.
we're going to be part of an event at Autobahn Country Club, a day of Porsches, racing, Concours. Checked it out. We'll have an area with probably with Mario spinning, and also they're going to do live music and stuff. So that is something to,
Yeah.
store in the back of your
Yeah,
head.
absolutely.
Might be in the fall next year,
Yeah,
but
that sounds like something that I'd be into
we'll
for
see. So
sure.
if you're watching this podcast,
Yeah.
you're getting hip to it early.
Yeah. Then Mario, I met him at Lincoln Commons, and,
Well, that's where he first came into my life too.
oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I thought you guys had knew each other
No,
prior to
he
that.
rolled up in the convertible VW, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Yep,
And then I seen his IG, and I'm like, oh, this. I'm like, whoa, this young guy knows
yep.
knows this music way
Mhm.
beyond
Yep.
most anyone I know. I mean, back to the
He
house
is,
thing.
yeah.
He is like managing the Frankie Knuckles record collection, which, if you're in that world, that's
Wow,
that's crazy big deal.
that's insane.
Yeah,
I did not know that about him.
yeah.
And I met him there too. I actually approached him, which is kind of goes back to what I said earlier about just being that random weirdo that goes around talking to people, because that's just what I like doing now. But I went up to him and I was like, yo, your car is one of the slickest cars that I've seen come in today. And he was like, mine. Well, he's like, what? And I'm like, no, for real, dude. It's nice, nice. And then I talked to him about his suit,
Yeah.
because I was like, also, you're wearing a full suit right now and you look really put together, man. It's awesome. And I was like, I got to know what you're into. So we just started talking about all this different stuff. And he was talking to me about how, like, he was, into finance before, and then DJing now. And like, we just sat there and chatted about random stuff for like 20 minutes. And then later in the show, we kind of met back up when we were down by the plaza, and we were just like looking at random cars together in the plaza, just hanging
cool.
out,
Nice.
total stranger.
Yeah.
And then I started following him online, and I saw, like, I mean, I knew he was into DJing. I just didn't know he was that deep into it.
Yeah,
Like
he's got a busy schedule.
it's insane. So he's a really cool cat, and I'm excited that he's DJing. Checked it out. That's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. And
Well, he'll also be playing at the preview party on Friday night at Porsche Downtown Chicago.
yeah, I need to go to that. I've actually never been to one of those, and I need to make
we
it this year.
hang out.
So.
It's a good opportunity to meet everyone at Crushers Club.
Yep. Yeah.
So they'll get a few minutes to speak, and then that's where we end our silent auction.
Yeah.
That all the proceeds go to them, which we have some good items
Cool.
in there, including the thing that we haven't announced yet. So
Okay.
our collaboration with JC Rivera, the Bear Champ, which shirt
Yeah.
I'm wearing right now.
Yep.
His illustration of the Bear Champ, we are making a 6-foot wide cutout that is printed on steel.
Okay.
So that will be at the entrance of Checked
Cool.
It Out.
Very
And
nice.
we're going to create a photo booth opportunity for cars at the end of the event to take a picture of their car,
Oh wow,
to the side of the Bear Champ.
that's awesome.
And the standee, as it is, of the Bear Champ will be available in our Crushers Club auction.
Oh, cool. That's really awesome.
So someone
Yeah.
who's a big collector, artist, or whatever,
Yeah.
or someone just wants an awesome garage piece,
Yep.
there you go. Because the car in it is an original 70 car,
Yep.
so that means was at the first Checked It Out, which is Alan Tom's Keen Safari build.
Okay.
Now Alan has customer car number 1, so that was for us in the first year. I mean, that was pretty amazing to have that such a build there. In 2018, that was a really
Yeah.
huge deal, and
Yeah, sure.
the whole trend of Safari thing was just happening.
Yep.
And yeah,
You're probably pretty mind blown to see that at your event, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Cliff drove it in.
yeah.
Alan wasn't in town,
Ah,
but, yeah, that's, like, one of the cars that, like, we had in that year one. It was like, "Holy shit."
yeah. And do you have a safari car yourself? Does there
Yeah,
who's
I mean, I
blue?
don't call it that, but my 996 is a early off-road
Oh, okay.
rally safari kinda
Okay, got
build,
you.
yeah.
That's the
It's
vibe
just
that
had a
I kinda
different
got
build.
off of it.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and have been seeing it around, and what's funny about it is I didn't realize that was yours until maybe, like, semi recently. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I just thought that whoever was driving that was just showing up at your events.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what it was.
Well, it was last
Uh,
year was in Big Boots booth because they had done a bunch of work to it,
okay.
we
That makes
raised it and
sense.
stuff, and the
Yeah.
different tire package and
Yeah, yeah.
roof rack and everything. I was preparing it because I went on Brock Keene's, safari party out in Utah, which I am doing again too,
Yeah.
so hopefully we're gonna rebuild the JRC shocks before that because it
Yeah.
really needs it. Because now
Yeah.
I like to with a build like that, when I come to my house and I get close in the neighborhood,
Mhm.
there's speed bumps, so I'll just jump them. But the last few times it's been, like,
Yeah.
bottoming out.
So they kinda need a reboot pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that look on that car, and you also have what year is your 911? Because I wanted to talk to you
So you
about
mean
that.
my G-body.
Yeah, your G-body.
So
It's
86,
80s, right?
86. So
86,
it's a
yeah.
915. The last year, the 915 trans, which coincidentally, my trans is out of the car right now, being
Oh, gotcha.
rebuilt because on our way to Graham Rahal Performance in June,
Yeah.
it was not happy and it was not going into gear.
Ah,
So I limped it back home
yeah.
and wasn't able, unfortunately, to drive it down to Indy, but
Yeah, yeah.
we're working on getting it corrected.
Yeah.
And hopefully it gets done in time and it will be in the Rick's air cooled booth that checked it out this year.
Cool. Just gotta hustle a little bit to get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's with the guys at G Design,
Yeah.
so, it's on the counter right now, and they know what
Yeah.
it needs, so
Yeah. You're like, "No pressure." Yeah, and so, like, last time we podcasted here at the gym, I think we got into it a little bit. We talked about some of the artwork on
yeah,
the outside of the car,
yeah.
but when I realized before doing this podcast with today that we didn't really get too much into what you've done to the rest of the car, like when you first got it, what sort of condition it was in, and what you've done to it up until now. And so, with someone with like a similar year car, I was just curious what you've done to it and what your experience has been modifying it, things like that. And
Yeah.
I'm also asking just for some insight on what I might want to do to my own car for the future from someone that has
Well,
a
I
similar year.
love the fact that I have no interior.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's not for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, talk to me about that a little bit. Was that just simply a weight load
Well, that's the
type of
way it came.
thing?
That's the
Oh,
way it
oh, it
came.
came with no interior.
So the shop had spent all the hours taking off all the glue and everything else
Mhm.
from the carpeting, and then they painted it black.
Mhm.
And it had, that time for many years, it had a half cage in it,
Mhm.
which I decided to pull out because there was a lot of talk about how you should not be in a car with a cage unless you have a helmet on.
Mhm.
So unless you're racing, because if something goes wrong and your head hits that, it's not a good thing, right?
Makes
So
sense. That's
I
smart.
finally pulled it out,
Yep.
and then when we travel, now it's easy to put our luggage back
Yeah, yeah.
where with a cage, you're like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, you gotta, play some Jenga or
Of
some crap."
course.
You're
Yeah,
like,
of
"Holy
course.
shit."
Yeah, yeah. And so you have a passenger seat,
Yeah.
right? But you don't have anything else in the back. Like you don't have the
Yeah,
bucket
there's no
seats. You don't
no
have.
back seat, no.
It's just basically like the
It's
body
just yep.
itself.
It's just the body, yeah.
Now, would that be if someone did want to put all that back in? Would that be tough to do after it's all stripped out, or would that be
Well,
fairly easy?
I would do, what do they call it? The RS carpet kit, which
Hmm.
is minimal, you know,
Makes sense.
and
Okay.
maybe you could even do it where you could remove it if you want, and then I'd do, RS door cards, which I actually have
Yeah.
stored away somewhere in my basement,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just kinda keep this, minimal kind of interior,
Yeah.
right?
I asked that from someone that I wanna do the interior on my car at some point,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure what I wanna do with it exactly. I kinda like the idea of nothing being back there, but then also on the other side, I'm thinking like, well, if I ever wanted to sell it, do people care about that from, like, a resale value? Do people give a shit about that, or is that, like,
Well, the Porsche
a
market's so
non-factor?
crazy. I think if you do the work right, people are gonna be into it.
True,
They
true.
appreciate that look,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
That's a good point. So
So
you probably have some freedom there as long as it's done well, you know?
yeah,
Yeah. And so you have the half roll cage out,
yeah.
no interior, and then what have you done to it mechanically since you've had it? Um,
Well,
off the top
pretty
of your
much
head.
like when it comes to if we're talking about hot rodding,
Mhm,
I replaced the DME with a Steve Long chip, so it's got to run on better quality fuel.
mhm.
It gets a little bit more power. It did feel pretty good once I first put it in, but
Yeah,
really the secret is the lightweight.
yeah,
You
that
know,
makes sense. So did you
AC's
get a
gone.
what is?
AC
Oh, AC. Yeah.
never had it in my ownership.
Do the and I don't know because 'cause I've never had AC in mine, but do the AC in those cars, do they actually work? Like, if you put a lot into it, if you spend the money, is it worth it? Does it even pump
I
the
think
air
most
conditioning?
people who are really trying to have an air conditioned, air cooled 911 are doing some kind of alternative system.
Oh, okay.
Like
I thought you were
those
gonna say
kind of
something funny like
no.
shouldn't have a 911.
No, I
Sorry,
mean,
I'm
to
just
each their own,
yeah, I'm just being funny, but
What I
no,
would
yeah.
really like to have is the crank out front glass like on the long hoods.
Yep.
So I guess that makes a lot of difference when you're cruising down the highway and stuff and the pop out rear
Oh,
windows.
yeah, yeah. Can you
So I'm
you could put those in, right? Like, if you
Yeah, I
had them
mean, it
custom
takes
made
a
or
little. You have to do. There's something you have to hack and grind down to get those front little
yeah, that'd be
side
really
windows to
cool.
fit. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's kind
yeah.
of backdatey, which backdates a little tired at this point, sort of.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's classic too. So I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So the lightweight for you is kinda key, and do you have, like, suspension on your car? Have you done suspension
So
on
we
it?
just had everything redone, and there's the iBox sway bar, which is big, and then
Okay,
Chariot links,
okay.
and then with the placing the shocks this year, just went with the Bilsteins, a little
Yeah.
OEM plus, nothing crazy, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
and, there's our cars are torsion bar cars, so
Yeah.
mine is sitting pretty low right now since I work, so I want to raise it a little bit, and I had a little bit of rake in it before, which
Mhm.
I kind of like that look
The
too.
rake looks cool, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
yeah,
Kinda I think it gives off a little bit more of, like, a hot rod
yeah,
vibe versus, like,
yeah.
kinda, like, I don't know what would you classify a car that's just, like, dropped? Like, it's like,
Well,
I don't know
my
what.
car when I got it was absolutely slammed.
Yeah, I guess slammed is the term for it, I guess, but
Slammed without being like a bagged car, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's I drove it quite a bit in
Yeah,
Southern California,
yeah,
and it scrapes on the bottom out there. There's all
yeah.
kinds, as much as you think this
The roads
car
are, like,
car mecca
incredible. Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
Uh, the roads are kind of crappy. It's not potholes, but
Yeah,
the entrance ramps, the parking
sure.
lots, you gotta like come at an angle. They're just not really
Yeah. It's
what
not
you
as smooth
want.
sailing as it sounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I drove a long time ago, I drove a Mini Cooper out there that was really, really low to the ground, and I had to be super it was a friend's,
Yeah,
Mini S
yeah,
that was
nice.
and I had to make sure that I didn't, like, tear apart his front end just driving around. I didn't know at first, I was kinda under the same impression, like
Oh, yeah, and then you're
yeah,
a little scraped,
yeah, yeah,
throw some
and
sparks.
very, very random, but, Andy a while ago, I think it was maybe it was when we got done podcasting here, we were talking afterwards a little bit, and somehow I don't know why we were talking about you or whatever, but he
Well,
had
you
told me
guys
that
did it on the you talked about me on the show.
oh, it was on the show. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it was. So, I don't know if it was on the show or after, but he had talked to me about how you have a fashion degree, right?
Yep.
But you, like, are in the sort of welding
Not
sector,
welding,
right?
but reinforcing
Oh,
steel.
reinforcing steel, okay. So when he told me that, it really threw me off, but then on the same token, I was like, well, a lot of what I know about Adam,
Yeah.
like, from what you put in the events that you do, art, like, music, even, like, a lot of the events I've showed up, I'm like, "Man, that guy's outfit is pretty slick. I wonder how he knew to put that together that way, and then when he told me you had a fashion background, I was like, "Okay, this is kinda checking out now," but
I
I
mean,
wanted
I
to
was pursuing art in the early days, was messing around with sound engineering at Columbia College too.
Okay.
Just kind of roaming around, clueless teenager. None of my family has any experience at college.
Yeah.
On the You have to go stretch out pretty far probably to find another person with a degree.
Yeah. Same
But
here.
yeah,
Yeah. Maybe one, like,
yeah,
on the far end.
right. Or someone that got married into the family,
Yeah, yeah,
some
yeah,
smart person.
exactly.
So yeah, I mean, basically, I thought fashion is a way to get a actual job that's creative, but my heart was in menswear and learning that stuff.
Mhm.
But when you go into a program like that, you're learning the women's wear. You're learning how to make dresses and stuff. Menswear is just like this obscure little thing that they'll run one class on, you know, and that's all you get in that program. But then at the time, I sought out this gentleman who taught me some extra tailoring skills because
Mhm.
that's what he did,
Okay.
because one of my senior show, I made a white tuxedo and white leather pants. That was what I was thinking in 2020, 2002. Don't hold it against me or
Yeah, I
whatever,
mean,
but
it made sense then though, right? I mean,
maybe it
kinda
did.
looked
I
like
don't know, but we were just trying to be creative, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's what my thinking was there. And then when I got out of school, it was kind of a bit lost in a sense, and it was like, "Oh shit, what do I do now?"
Yeah.
And the silly thing that ran through my mind, probably the worst thing you could think of, is going to get more education.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was like almost like, oh, thinking about maybe I go to Fit or Parsons in New York City or
Yep,
something.
yep.
That subsided. I had jobs.
Mhm.
Then it led up to what would become the GFC, the financial crisis is
Mhm.
2007,
Yep,
2008.
yep.
Things weren't happening. So then that's how I got a temporary pass to tie iron, to tie rebar, with
Yeah,
then eventually getting into the apprenticeship. And
yeah.
I thought it was going to be temporary,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't. And then I learned to enjoy it. And pretty much once I became a foreman and started doing my own little jobs,
Mhm.
that's when I really appreciated it because I
Yeah,
liked the responsibility,
yeah.
you know, managing a few people, whatever, but always right there in the mix. We
And what do you
got
mean by the responsibility part of it?
well, when you're the boss, you're looking at the plans, you're telling people what to do, you're also doing your own work
Hmm.
and watching them, and then you have even when you're just like
Yeah,
a journeyman or whatever, you're part of something. You're gonna see that building.
yeah,
You might outlive it, you might not, but it's
yeah.
a piece of you. You were a part of putting that thing together,
Yeah, that's
literally.
true.
So it's
Yeah.
pretty neat if you appreciate it that from that perspective.
Oh, it's a great point, and the other thing that kind of made me think for a second too is that when I was talking to you about responsibility, you're like, "Well, you have the plans, you have people under you that you're responsible for." Then you said you're like, "I have my own work that I'm working on." And, you know,
Well, the
whether
best bosses don't ask you to do anything that they won't do.
Yeah.
So when I was learning, the trade or whatever,
Mhm.
I worked for years with this guy who was a real asshole. But you
Adam's not holding back today, man.
respected him in a certain sense because there was nothing that he would ask you to do that he wouldn't do,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, so on the one hand, you're like, "Well, I wish you were a little more cordial or nice, but I also know that you'll do anything that that you're asking me
Yeah,
to
and it
do."
was always hard to argue with him because he was literally always right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things you mentioned is, like, you're like, "Oh, I like working on my" or I liked working on my own things too, is, like, it stands out to me because a lot of people that are in charge of things or responsible for others, like, they kind of view that as being their own
Yeah,
only
they get to
responsibility.
walk around or whatever.
Yeah, 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 and
But the
I've
thing
always
is
despised that a little bit,
yeah,
for whatever reason.
but my teams were never big enough where that would be I the most I had like 5 people with me, right? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
when
true.
you get into like 25 or
It
something,
changes a little
then you
bit.
got
Yeah.
then that's that's okay.
Yeah, there's eventually a switch over where
Maybe
like,
you're not wearing your tools or whatever.
yeah, if you're working on your own things, you're not managing the 10 people, you know,
Yeah,
out of the 25. Like maybe you have 15 on lock and any other 10, you have no idea what's going on.
right,
So it
right.
makes sense.
The interesting thing to tie it into where we are today, I
Mm-hmm.
checked it out.
Mm-hmm.
So if folks are familiar with the Mansueto Library at the University of Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
it's the big glass dome. It's 5 stories underground.
Yep.
So I worked on that pretty much in my early days. And our very own Dan Kubrick designed that building with Helmut Jan.
And you didn't know him at that time,
No,
right?
didn't know him. Never thought I would own a Porsche at that time, let alone know him.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that would have been like 2009. So
Yeah,
you're 9 years later. Checked it out happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
know, the other funny thing too, like, because a lot of the things that you're talking about, like your timeline, you know, your pivot, you know, from your education background, almost accidentally going back to school again. Like these are all things that I'm like, yep, yep, yeah. I
yeah.
remember doing that exactly that way. But it's kind of funny for me to hear you, you know, because like when I talk to people about like you, Andy, Dan, checked it out, whatever, like
Uh,
I pretty much classify you guys as like the Porsche people in Chicago, whether that's true or not. But that's just like, that's the way I say it because those are the people I know. But it's just kind of funny to hear you say like, oh, I never thought that I would own a Porsche,
right.
being the guy who's like deeply immersed in this
Yeah.
whole thing, you know? And um,
Well, there's a story of how I got turned on to
yeah,
Porsche
so what got you into this? Like, how did that
on
happen?
a sort of a whim somewhere, probably like 2010, 2011. There was
Hmm.
this coffee table book. I forget what it's called,
Hmm.
but it's it's pink and it's a bunch of photos of 9/11.
Hmm.
It was before 9/11, so 9/97 was the latest.
Hmm.
And it was just an impulse buy on Amazon. And I started thinking about it like, whoa, this car, has this rear engine configuration and like it's kind of like a cult thing. No one else does that in the modern day cars. And it's
Yeah,
like, I thought that was pretty special. And I liked that angle.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that I remember very vividly that a 997 base was like 85 grand at the time. And it was like, well, maybe someday this could happen or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. Sure,
So that's what started it. So
gotcha.
then years later, I bought my first one, which is 996 cab.
Yeah.
But I always think too, man, before I had mine, I remember have this memory of being waiting in a doctor's office. I'm going through eBay listings and it's like G buys 964s and I'm seeing prices like $12,000.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, something must be wrong with this car. It's probably a piece of shit, whatever.
Yeah,
But that was still like the going prices.
yeah. At that time, yeah,
And if I'd have went back and bought five and then sold them all to Singer
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
if
yeah,
they
yeah,
knew,
yeah, yeah,
it's just crazy.
yeah. And so, like, basically, you were shocked by like the affordability of those cars at that time,
Which
based.
that was probably like really close to the end of that.
Yeah. What year was that? Probably the end of that. Like I would, what,
Well,
2010 or
when you
something,
think about
or
2012,
12 maybe.
13, somewhere in that period, you know, Magnus Walker appeared.
Hmm.
The Urban Outlaw film
Yeah.
came out. And as Adam Hurlbert writes in Off the Map,
Hmm.
that's kind of a sort of point where things change and this whole Porsche culture that we enjoy today
Yeah.
really was born, I think.
Yeah. Now, do you think that, I mean, you sort of already said it, but I just wanted to dive into it a little bit more because I'm genuinely curious. Do you think that was like one of the major players that really changed a lot of this for everyone in Porsche culture? Was like that
Yeah,
guy, that YouTube video coming out,
yeah,
that sort of attitude, and like, I mean, you know, that like that guy represents to a lot of people like kind of the
yeah,
sort of outlaw, like metal punk kind of artsy.
yeah.
It's a rebellious sort of thing. Do you think that that
Well,
was majorly responsible
yeah, I
for
mean,
the
everyone
shift?
saw his cars and they were like, wow, this is cool. And they wanted to build like that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people doing, kind of copies of what he was doing too eventually, right?
Yeah.
So that's part of it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to think. I think I had saw his video long after that probably had come out. So I probably saw his video maybe in 16 or 17 or something like that.
they had quite a life, you know.
Yeah. But I think subconsciously that probably had set myself up for those kind of cars too, whether I realized it or not. Because my first car was a Cayman,
Yeah,
and I said this before, but I mostly got it because I just thought it looked awesome. That
yeah,
was I had no idea what it was, how it
they do.
drove. They do look awesome.
Yeah,
But I think what had happened is after driving it and realizing how they drive, I think my brain had went all the way back to like 2016 or 17 and realized like what he was doing and what those cars could represent, I guess. And I think that's what original or eventually led me to having like a 1980 911. But
I think having a G body and a Cayman is like a really sweet mix.
yeah,
You know,
yep.
that Cayman is more relative to a G body than a 991 or 992 would be to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
No,
it's just
I
my
think
opinion.
you're pretty spot on, I would say,
Yeah,
because there are so many similarities in how it drives and how it
yeah.
functions, and it doesn't feel that far off, you
I
know.
mean, mid-engine is total game changer. You know,
Yeah.
it's fun around corners.
Yeah, yeah. The mid-engine is insane, and just the abilities of the car, like the speeds you can take an exit,
Yeah,
or how it just the responsiveness of it is different too, right? Would you say?
yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah, and
Porsche knows it's the best platform. That's why they hold it back.
yeah, so I've heard.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and one of the things I wanted to ask you about too, since we were already kind of on the subject of it, was sort of like, and I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but I have, but I would say in the last 3 years or so, maybe 2 to 3 years, I've noticed that there has been this really crazy influx in younger people, knowing like what Porsche is. And it seems like there has been this huge sort of rebound for younger kids, teenagers being into those cars again and sort of like fanning out about them. And the only reason I bring that up is because, say, 6, 7 years ago or so, like driving those cars around the city, people would respond to it sometimes, but not as much as they do now. And now, and you and I have had those cars for a fair amount of time
yeah,
now. And now all of a sudden, like I'd be in a parking lot, people want to talk about it. People want to take pictures and stuff. And even younger kids like want to sit in the car. They want
yeah,
to. I literally had a kid run out on Western Avenue when I came out from a side street. And he was like, "Can I take a picture of your car?" And I was like, "Sure." And he ran out into the middle of Western Avenue with cars driving by. They're just taking a picture. And I was like, "Man, this is really strange." So I wanted to ask you if you thought like, you think a lot of that is from like social media, or do you think it's
sure.
the bring a trailer effect, or like
No,
something is
social
going
media.
on, right? Like it's
Social
some,
media. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, relatively.
I think maybe it's just
But
adding
yeah,
up
I
now or
think
something like,
maybe the last few years, yeah, things are
yeah,
sort of ramped up in one way.
yeah,
You know, like I have people who like not knowing what's up
yeah,
necessarily, but they'll send me a picture of a car saying, I like this.
hmm,
And it's either one of two things. A lot of times it's Chris Cluel's car because he has awesome photography, a friend in Minnesota,
yeah,
or it's a singer.
yeah, yeah. You're like, that's $1 million car that you like
Yeah.
there. That makes sense that
Yeah.
you would like it. But yeah, it's been pretty interesting to see. And I'm not saying that people haven't been into them; they've always been into it. It just,
No, I get it.
yeah, it just seems like heightened now for some reason. Maybe
But
that's
at the
maybe
same
that's part.
time, there's a certain Porsche animosity too.
What do you mean by that? Like, or
Well,
maybe I
there's
haven't noticed that.
frankly people out there in the internet
Oh,
world who are
oh,
sick of us or sick of our
I see,
cars.
I see. Now, what do you mean, like, sick of us? Like, how? Because I like to troll myself quite a bit, like in all ways. So, but like, I'm just curious how, like,
Well, you know, for all this period we've been talking about with the media and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
for the
yeah,
last 10, 20 years, it was
yeah,
all this, oh, an air-cooled 911 is the driver's car,
hmm,
which I find hard to dispute.
hmm,
But, you
sure.
know, let's just say people who love E30 BMWs, they get a little resentful because that's God's chariot, of course, you know.
God's chariot.
That's what they call it.
I've never heard that term before.
Yeah,
That's
no,
funny.
that's what they call it. But I'm
I
just,
like it.
you know, when anything becomes too popular, there's a certain
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right.
I mean, there's people that hate Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
They
they're so wrong. and they
Hell yeah.
they did they weren't alive then either.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true. They
they
weren't
like
there to witness
they
that
like that
shit,
guy
so
who flops around all the time.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that's true. You know, just like a team that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
constantly
yeah, yeah.
winning, you're like,
Yeah,
you know, there's or
makes sense.
the favorite that I'm sure that you've experienced is that band that you like and you think is special. Then you know the other assholes in high school are thinking they're cool, and then you're like, oh, I'm not really into that anymore.
Yeah, you're like,
You know,
that was fun while it
but
lasted."
that's
Yeah, it's kind of the
how
same
life
shit.
is,
Yeah,
and that's I think what's part of the Porsche world.
yeah.
Plus all the insane prices on the
They
secondhand
don't
market
help.
and the new
They
market
don't help.
does not help at all.
Yeah.
I don't know who it's helping, maybe resellers or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
or that Doty fuck in,
Oh
California.
god, that guy. I have some serious anger management issues with that guy, and I actually kind of, like, ebbed and flowed with it a little bit where I was like, I really hated it, and then I was sorta like, "Hey, you know what, dude? Why do you care so much? Just
Yeah, I
stop, like." But then I kinda doubled back down, and I think the one that got me the most is, like, is the videos of, like, the elderly guys,
yeah.
and somehow they got in touch with this guy, and I just don't like the
On one
feeling
hand,
of
they're
it.
probably calling him.
Yeah, so it's like you can't totally blame the guy, but then
Right,
also there's just, like, this snaky vibe to it,
right.
but I don't know, man, it's just something just doesn't feel right about it, and I've tried to get away from, like, emotional thinking like that, you know, but I just don't like the way it feels, and
Yeah,
I don't think it sends out, like, a super good message to people that wanna get into those cars because it kinda puts this vibe out like, "Hey, if you're a smart businessman, you could, like, get these things, flip them, make money, and that's, like, what it's all about," and it's
yeah.
just to me, it's kind of just the polar opposite of the reason we even give a shit about all
Well,
of
my
this stuff, you know?
question,
I
though,
mean
that I wonder is, like, how is he getting to these cars? There's been a few videos that people sent me where he's in Chicagoland,
mhm,
you
mhm.
know, and then, like, I don't know, are they reaching out to him or
Yeah,
are they hitting the PCA mark, which is probably a
yeah,
good spot to get to the older folks or
yeah,
whatever, as long as you send an email to the AOL address
yeah.
and,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, whatever. But I laughed the other day. He had a video where this beautiful 964 cab somewhere in California,
Mhm,
and the owner said, "Yo, yeah, 2 owners ago, it was owned by Lee Majors,"
mhm.
and he had a fucking blank stare. And I was just like, "Man, that's a cool ownership, history."
Yeah.
And on the comment I wrote, "This is the perfect place where you would put in your video the $6 million man sound effect, you know, when you like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah,
bit before our time, but at
yeah.
least we know what it
Sure,
was, you
sure,
know?"
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that bothers me about it too is that in my opinion, like those cars should be passed down to someone who has the same opportunity to take care of it in the same way. I'm not saying that it's for a discount, but
Yeah.
someone who already is, thinking like long term with it, or at least like semi long term, not just like,
But
I don't
that's
know,
what
man.
happens, you
Yeah.
know, if you're known in the game as a
Yeah.
seller and everything, and people are gonna call you with crazy shit
Yeah.
and some good opportunities,
True.
you know, so you can't really hate on
Yeah.
them
I
for
guess if he
that
marketed himself.
necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do kind of wonder like how do these cars escape the Chicago market where someone from across the country comes and scoops them up.
Especially Chicago. Like, I'm
Yeah,
like, man, that's a
yeah,
far shoot for, you know what I
yeah,
mean? But yeah, and you mentioned earlier too that, you're a big, music buff, right? And we've talked about music. We've talked about music at like Checked It Out, right? And Mario, but are there any recent albums that have come out in the last, say, 6 months or a year that you really like? 'Cause I know that you're an old soul too,
yeah.
but I wanted to see if there's anything that was modern that has come out recently that you
So
really
yeah,
dig. Because I have one for myself
okay,
too that I
cool.
wanted to mention to you, but I wanted to see if there's, or even like one or two that you've
Well,
been
so
into
low
recently.
end, I try to do low end records. I did the 10th one, so basically just a Spotify playlist.
Okay.
And there's this local group called Mensa, which is, you know,
Mensa.
Mansa,
Okay. I'm gonna write that down.
R&B, and they're on the Closed Sessions uh record label that's also a Chicago thing.
Okay.
So, you know, it promoted them kind of did, did a little dedicated to them in the post because then when I released the playlist
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they it was very cool because they commented and they reciprocated or
Oh,
whatever,
cool.
and there was a nice little exchange. So that was pretty cool
Yeah.
because to promote someone that's local is pretty
So what
good.
do they sound like? Like, what's the
So there's
kind of vibe or whatever?
definitely classic R&B,
Okay.
bass and drum heavy and a good singer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. Yeah, is there anything else you've been into, in that same vein, or kinda is there, like, do your music taste kind of vary pretty widely, or I'm just
Well,
curious what other
I
kind of
think
stuff you're
so,
into?
but everyone seems to think that, don't they? But yeah, one of those playlists that kind of create what I'm feeling
Yeah.
lately,
Yeah, yeah.
and there is a lot of not a lot of new stuff, but some new stuff where I hear something, I Shazam it or save it, and then
Yeah.
I guess I'm old school in a certain sense because I like to actually download the MP3 file, have it on my hard drive,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
keep it in my phone too.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but like this group say she
She?
they're uh, R&B up
Okay.
tempo, really talented three women. They're someone I'm a fan of,
Okay, cool.
and then this Salt SAULT. They're crazy prolific. These people in the UK come out with like a new album every 6 months.
Oh, really?
And I think that's just reflective of how the record industry has changed, maybe. You
Yeah.
don't have to
People are
do
putting
this
albums out, like
crazy project and all these budgets,
yeah.
which I think is really cool.
I think it is too. I've noticed that people put albums out these days quite a bit faster
Yeah,
than before. I mean, some bands, they have that option to take their time and just like wait,
yeah.
but I've just noticed that people have been putting out albums like
Because I think you
once a
don't have to deal
year.
with that bullshit machine like you used to have to. The gatekeeping is
Yeah.
less,
Yeah. I think they're able to just put out what they want, you know?
which I mean, talk about gatekeeping or whatever,
Yeah,
checked it out exists because we had the tool of Instagram to get out to people
that's true.
so that, this grassroots thing could happen.
Yeah, without Instagram, it would be a completely different thing. I mean, also like the photo, video side of it, and promoting it would be very different, and I think that's the one advantage that Checked It Out has had, uh, is the fact that people can kind of at this point follow it like year round, because you guys are
Sure.
doing something. It seems on the outside constantly. Seems like there's something going on all the time.
Well, you don't want to be forgotten.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool to
But
watch.
we do a good job, or I should say a great job, working with all the photographers and creators. They share their work. We credit them as such, which they deservedly so.
Yep.
But there's a certain kind of effort that takes to manage all that stuff. It's not necessarily easy,
Yeah.
but it's certainly what you should do
Oh,
when
yeah.
people are
No, definitely, yeah.
lending you their work as
Yeah,
such.
I take pride in, putting out who is involved in what, for
Yeah,
numerous reasons. One, they deserve the credit for the work they put in and the creativity side of it. And then I also just like showing people like, this person trusted us to wanna show up and put their work in, spend the day here, in our case, like film our athletes or film the coaches, things like
yeah.
that. And that
You
essentially
have to tell the story.
what's that?
You have to tell the story. You
Yeah.
have to list the details, the who, what, when, where, and why.
Yep.
And so a lot of people totally fail at that. They could show a checked it out picture and they say, "Oh, there was Porsches in Chicago."
Yeah.
Oh, great, thanks.
It sounds potentially
They
like
just showed up.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You're like, "Cool, well, there's some nice cars there." It's like, "Alright." You know?
I mean, maybe I'm wishing for a higher standard, which, whatever, shouldn't do that. But
Nah, I think it's a good thing, I mean, I think that's why because the thing is like, I love those cars, but if I was just gonna show up for a couple hours just to stare at those cars, I don't know, man, I'd probably be there for, like, half the time,
mm,
But whether I'm putting my car in there or not, just talking to people, the different brands that are there, and then seeing the different kind of Porsche people that show up. It's like there's so many like subsects of Porsche people, like well the modern people,
well, we're
like
gonna have a great mix of race cars this year that I'm looking forward to.
cool. What brought that on? Is that just
So
something
let's
kind
just
of happened, or did you guys seek that out?
no, it
Because
just happened. Griffin and West Fuji, father and son,
mhm,
they race cup cars. So
gotcha,
they have three of them that they're bringing out. So that's
cool.
neat.
I think that's a great angle to lean
Yeah.
into because I know that people love that stuff. Like,
Oh, it's awesome. You
you
can
know,
just
it just brings the sport.
see them start them up or push them or whatever they got to do on the
Yeah.
street. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And it brings, like, the sport aspect to car culture too, because a lot of people can attach themselves to that from just the competitive standpoint. People just like, like I don't play soccer. I probably never will, but I like watching soccer, and I
Yeah, I
just like
watched a
seeing.
little bit with the World Cup.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of crying in soccer.
There is a lot of crying in
What's
soccer,
wrong
right?
with that? Just handle your loss and move on, dude.
Yeah, we watched the final game at Diego, who trains here. He's like a close friend of ours at this point. We watched at his house, and his family is Spanish, and I think they have a lot of family in Spain still.
Nice.
And so there was like this pretty deep connection to that final game, and he invited me over to watch it. I watched it with his family, and I have to say, I kind of feel bad now because, when someone's like, "Oh, I like the Yankees because they win," I kind of feel like I'm that guy now. But literally going to their house and spending a couple hours with them and watching that game and seeing
Yeah.
how into it they were, I was like, I'm a Spain fan now, dude. I am
That,
I am legitimately a Spain fan because of Diego and his family. Um, but it was pretty interesting watching that, but it's just the competitiveness of it and what's at stake, how much people care about it, and I think that racing aspect,
well, I liked Argentina only because I'd been there.
no, so you're like, yeah, that's
Argentina,
what I know.
Buenos Aires is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never been
I
down there, but
recommend.
I definitely need to go to South America.
It
I've
was
been trying to push Katie to do it.
my 40th birthday trip.
So, yeah, so how long were you there for? Did you go
Oh
for, like, a
God, I mean
week, or
it's
is it a little longer than that, or
definitely would do more than a week. It would be such a
just a pain to get there?
yeah. You get to fly to Miami and then fly down, and well, actually, you fly to Miami, then you go to Chile, to Santiago, and then you take a flight over. Which we start our Argentina trip in Mendoza, which is wine region near the Andes.
Oh, that's cool.
So we stayed at a resort, and then few days later, we took another flight over to BA and
Uh,
then finished our trip there.
that's cool. Yeah, we've never been for some reason, I don't know why.
So my buddy Tom, his father was a Greek merchant marine. So his father saw the world. And he always said Buenos Aires was the most beautiful
Really?
town he ever been to, and that always stuck with me.
So you remember that?
So that's why I was like, wanted to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, what was your experience there? Like, what did you think about it? Like, what is it like? Because I have nothing to
Well, I'll
base
tell you
anything off
what,
of, but
you got to be ready to eat meat. Oh, the horrors!
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Plenty of steak, and it's so cheap.
yep.
You
That's
know,
cool.
that was cool. There's a certain Italian influence to their cuisine down there too. There's like this sort of, I don't know what
Really?
you call it, like a focaccia style pizza too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess
the
you don't like.
Italians and German, the
Yeah,
Germans went to Argentina, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Crazy enough. Yeah, I guess
So
you forget that there's like that European influence down
yeah,
there that you just, for whatever reason, I just am like, oh yeah, it's strictly going to be Argentinian food, but
no, and
just,
I'm always asked when I'm coming back because I have a friend, Santiago, who used to live here for a while, and well, here in the Midwest in Madison, and
hmm
was working at Kelly Moss for a minute, but
yeah.
he has his own little car event down there, and he's like,
Oh, really?
they
NBA or
yeah,
wow?
and they to take it back,
Yeah.
they don't announce their location and stuff till the day of because they want to keep out certain riffraff.
Ah, I see. So they
Yeah.
just don't invite like people that are unfavorable in whatever sense
Yeah, I
that
mean they
means.
have
Like,
social media and everything, so I don't know how quick they do
sure,
the
sure.
announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like, have you heard of a Red Line Chicago? Have you heard of that thing?
What is that?
I haven't been to it yet, just because at this point I'm not really like that keen on being out until like the sunrise or whatever. But
Oh, yeah.
they do these like, I think they're like technically like a rave in Chicago, and
Okay.
they don't announce the location until the day of, and they do them like in abandoned buildings. They've done them on the CTA, like, or somewhere around the CTA. They've done them under the where what is it? Webster and Ashland. There's that
Okay.
bridge right
Yeah,
there. They
right.
did it under the bridge one night. And one of these days I'm gonna go to it. I told
See,
Katie I'm
that's
gonna stay
something you
up
could get
overnight.
away with in this lawless city we live in these
That's
days.
that's true.
Back
That's
in back in my day,
yeah.
that wouldn't happen. I mean, I was part of the early rave scene. I was like 16, in 92 or whatever,
Yeah,
going back
yeah,
when it was 91 made it was the first year of all that
yeah,
shit popping off here.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And used to go to places that I had no idea where we were in the city, back being so young.
yeah. And going to like raves or like warehouse type shows or
Yep.
yeah.
There was this place called, I think my first one was this place called Bungee over Chicago,
Okay.
where they had literally had a big crane
Hmm.
and you would bungee jump off of it. And I
That's
don't know if they
wild.
had a pool at the bottom of it or what. I don't remember. But like July of 92 or something, it was a 4th of July weekend or something.
Yeah,
I went, my first party,
crazy.
and it was all the way the house and the techno was back then.
Yeah,
And just being that young and, you know, being out late and big eyed, right? And hang out with cooler, older people. And
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what that
yeah.
shit was.
Yeah, you got to be thankful for that too, right? I mean, like the older people that were cool enough to let you kind of hang out or deal with you or
Well,
whatever.
I was that kid that had a lot of friends, older friends, a couple of years older than me.
Yeah, yeah. I tend to do the same thing too, whether it was like older people at the skate park or into BMX
Yeah.
or even older people. Like I think most of my friends that were into hardcore and punk were like 23 to 25, and they were just cool enough to let me kind of tag along for better or worse. There was a lot of probably bad things that I shouldn't have been around, but
Yeah.
also it taught me a lot about life and kind of I think it maybe got me a little bit ahead in the
Yeah.
maturity sense by maybe being around those things that I shouldn't have been around. And then you kind of pull back and realize later you're like, that wasn't good. I'm going to steer away from that a little bit.
Learning what not to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Early on too, right? You don't have
Yeah.
to figure that out too late or
Right. Right.
whatever. But,
Definitely did
um,
that.
yeah, I'm really excited to podcast with you guys. I checked it out. We're going to have the podcast on a PA, right?
Yeah.
And we may, I have to figure out a few things out, but we may have some live streaming for
Cool.
that too. So I'll let you know if we can get that figured out
Yeah.
in the meantime. But I'm looking forward to having you and the crew on the podcast. So
Well, we're gonna give you some new voices,
yeah,
so get to meet Scott and Jenny and I think I put Haas on the
yeah,
list.
Haas,
So
yep, yep,
so he's a more recent member of the crew, and he works hard on staging just with all the rest of
yeah,
the guys. So he's become someone who's moved up in the ranks, and we're glad to have him.
yeah, yeah. I think it's going to be really great and just to get some new angles on it,
Yeah,
and I appreciate you, having us at the event and allowing the podcast to happen.
because they
It's
all
something
three
we
of
look
those
forward to.
folks have a history with us, and then they moved their way into being part of the team.
Yeah, just like a natural, graduation of things, right? I mean,
Well,
well, cool, man. Well, thanks for doing this.
always.
We'll wrap up here. So, thanks for hanging out, man.